The views expressed by our guests in the following video are solely the opinions of our guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and or opinions of the Ola 7 podcast show. Viewer discretion is advised.
Every home tells a story, and behind every secure, elegant property is a team that built it with purpose. At Demridge Engineering, we believe in strength and beauty. With us, craftsmanship meets innovation to protect what matters most. Our aluminum and glass solutions bring modern design to life. From sleek sliding doors, elegant aluminum windows, premium shower cubicles, and bespoke glass installations, our fabricated steel structures add strength and character to every property. Beautifully finished gates, durable fencing, architectural steelwork, and custom frames. Convenience comes to life with our door automation and access control systems, automatic sliding and swing doors, motorized gates that respond to your touch. With our CCTV and surveillance solutions, your peace of mind extends beyond walls. Demridge Engineering, aluminum, steel, fencing, and electronics.
Hello guys, my name is DJ Ola 7 Owen. We're Commodore the Chief Air Marshal on your number one podcast in the land. It is your favorite segment, On the Spot. On this show, I host people from all walks of life, politicians, sports people, entertainers, and business people. Also, my artists and your socialites enyu munowaona zvakariwariwa panapa pa On the Spot. However, today's episode is a little different. Nasi iriku tukutasa takabatana neguta reHarare, a city full of promise. But right now, vamwe kuti iri kusangana nematambudziko akawanda atoda tinge tichinzwa kuti angagadziriswe sei matambudziko eguta, kusanganisira mvura, tsvina mumigwagwa, vatengesi vari kumhaisana nemapurisa ekanzuru nezvimwe zvakangowanda tichazvibata zvose. And today tichada kunzwa kuti nyaya dzeservice delivery iri pa spotlight zvekudaro. So today we asked the tough questions. Is the city of Harare failing its people? Tichazvinzwa zvese nekuti tadaidza mukuru weguta vanova meya kuti vatitsanangurire pano kuti zvii zviri kuyazotora nzvimbo tichinzwa zvese. Indovati hangu H1 the mayor of Harare, his worship Jacob Mafume. But first we'll get to know the mayor beyond the title kuti zvakanyatsomira sei. But chekutanga mayor maya makageza zvacho
takageza
mapenda nemvura
tapinda nemvura
zviri kuoneka ndikuva riskini iri kuglow
kudhara taikuti kungura
zvichireva izvozvo
kuti tabvisa ngura
kungura I see
munhu wese ngageza
aya ndazova kuti makachena saka muri tosunga here zveshodho kuti vanhu vanenge vasina kugeza vatosunga kuti muri kuita sei?
Yeah, if you are dirty, you are smelling, you are a public nuisance. We have laws that deal with public nuisance. We have laws that deal with dirty cars, we have laws that deal with dirty environment. So if you are a public nuisance, so for example, if you come smelling like a he-goat from the mountains in the city center, and someone reports that this person's conduct and looks are such that it constitutes a public nuisance, we'll have to deal with that.
Okay.
People must be clean. It's an environment. The essence of a city is to deal with sanitary issues. But look, it's tongue-in-cheek, some of the things that we say. But what we want to emphasize is that cleanliness is an act of conduct. It's an act of culture. It's not about investment. You don't need foreign investment to be clean. You don't need a project proposal to be clean.
Yes.
We need to have a clean society. People must not eat while they are moving. You cannot cook mazondo pakati pe city center, gear boxes pakati pe city center, and things like that. You come to town.
But area will be pakati pe city center worship. I've been to Hong Kong. I've seen that. They do like my street is huku yese inotorostwa mutown pakati petown
in a sanitary manner or licensed manner.
Okay.
You in a deliberate manner.
All right.
Well, we have no problems with my mobile kitchens.
Yeah.
We have no problems with cooking places and times and particular streets maybe where we want a nightlife,
vibrant
nightlife, people to be moving from one bar to the other, are picking up a roasted wing, a thigh, a breast, and things like that.
Okay.
But what we cannot have is a situation where you bring wood, coal, and you start buying, and those what you're talking about, they use gas stoves,
gas stoves,
and their sanitary conditions and so forth. So that's where we want to be as a city. We don't want to have a culture of dirty, a culture of accepting things that make our environment unlivable, or make us live in that environment without dignity.
Thank you so much, Your Worship. And firstly, I want to say thank you so much for coming. I last hosted you, I think, last year.
Yes.
And you're back again on the show. So
Always
now,
a pleasure.
Yes. So let's talk about Jacob Mafume. I know you started at Gokomere High School and later on became Secretary General of the Students' Union at the University of Zimbabwe, where you were studying law.
Yes.
So what is it with the law students and politics? I know, most of the law students, they end up in politics.
Yes. No, look, there's the political theory that you study in law, the laws, the rules, the field, you understand why, where laws originate from, who makes the law, how to change the law. You are taught as you go through law school that you need to be an agent of the law, either in court for your clients or in all the platforms where law is made.
Yes.
City councils, parliament, even the highest offices in the land. It requires modern civilization is a rule-based civilization. What we have, a city, is just an accumulation of laws.
Okay.
Don't do this, do that, do this, do this. If you want to do this, you follow this procedure. And that is these are construct of laws. And therefore, lawyers take to politics like ducks take to water. That's has been my upbringing. I felt that I needed to participate
in politics
of my country. God did not make a mistake by making me be born in Zimbabwe, and therefore it is where the good Lord, in His infinite wisdom, decided that I must live, and therefore I have to make the best of it. I'm not gonna go elsewhere to try and make my fortune. I'm not going to go elsewhere outside Zimbabwe to try and rule them or try to represent them. I'm going to be here in Zimbabwe in the manner and form that the good Lord decreed. And he when He made you be born here, it was not a mistake.
100%.
He knew what He was doing. And there are opportunities that are here in Zimbabwe, and the opportunities will have to be exploited by none other than us, and we have to make the best of it, project ourselves as well as we can be what we can be within the limits of our existence.
Thank you so much, Your Worship. It is said that you were one of the founding members of the MDC. What really strikes out, to you about that season in the history of Zimbabwe?
Well, when we formed the MDC, we were part of the students' leadership. It was based on the need to create a multi-party system, expand the rights in the constitution, create issues around governance, representation, inclusion, and so forth. It was a whole arena of issues. And it was also about, at that time, there was a wave within Africa, Chiluba had come in, Zambia, Muluzi, Kenya, Nigeria, and many other African countries. There was a wave to move away from the constitutional frameworks that were there to come up with a multi-party framework, which said that multi-parties can coexist, civic society, and so forth. So, and we wanted to be part and parcel of the participation in the politics of our country. So we, together with the workers' movement, students' union, civic society, some church groups, decided to form or be part of the formation of the movement for democratic change, which was then led by Morgan Changirai, and we moved up to this point. I who formed it, but I then took a hiatus from politics. I went into civic society. I worked for donor agencies. I worked out of the country for some time. And then I did a law firm. Then I came back to work for the Prime Minister's office, and came back into full-time politics. And since then, I've been there. And we believe that the purpose was to make it acceptable that a country can have a multi-party regime in existence, and people can be.
But were you not scared? Those days. I think I'm sure. If you remember very well, President Mugabe didn't want anything to do with the opposition. He was opposing that, and I remember those days we were used to politics of violence, something like that. Was tinema incidents like Wanda record of my political violence, during the formation of MDC. Yeah. So were you not scared to be part of that movement?
Well, everyone gets apprehensive, but you must recall that this is a country of brave people. This country was being run by white people, and people fought against the white people who had guns, who could kill and who would exile people. And part and parcel of the politics of Zimbabwe has been the requirement that you be brave. And therefore, as the bravery that was there in the 1980s and before is the same bravery that we have now. We were born by the same people who fought when they felt that things were not right, and we are their children. And therefore, if things are not right, we do what needs to be done to make them right.
There was a narrative those days that the MDC was there as Vatengesi, because that was the like the narrative that was then pushed by the ruling party to say, if you are in MDC, Urumtengesi, Ndimiwan or sanctions and all. Was it really the case?
Well, politics is a game of narratives at some point. We were also calling ZANU-PF oppressors, dictators, and so forth. And when you are in a political context, you create the narratives and try to pitch them in order to win what we call the battle for the soul of the nation. And it was up to us to show that we were not that. At the end of the day, it was proved because we then held an inclusive government together with the ZANU-PF compatriots.
Yes.
We have been councillors, MPs, and we've been councillors for over 2 decades. The country is still there. It has not been sold. So time always proves narratives right or wrong. The country is here. It has not been sold. We are working together. We are trying to alleviate the suffering of the people of Zimbabwe in our diversity and in our differences.
So when you personally joined the MDC straight out of the college, what was your personal reason for joining the movement?
We wanted inclusion. We wanted to also see ourselves as MPs, see ourselves as councillors.
Why not joining ZANU-PF?
Well, at that time, it was a closed system. They had gone through a process of the Liberation War, and most of the leaders who were getting into leadership, it was at one point it was said leadership in ZANU-PF is a straitjacket.
Yes.
You needed to have gone to the war first to be anything, and it was going to be difficult. We felt that after learning, when we go to law school, we learn very complicated concepts, and after finishing at college, we're the same age as Jesus when he started leading, same age as great Alexander, same age as many of the leaders as they started reading. But if we had gone to ZANU-PF, I would have been considered a youth. But at the same time, I was about to marry and I was capable of making children.
Yes.
So a political framework that would then relegate me to kindergarten would, at that particular time, not be part and parcel of what I wanted to be.
Okay.
So at that time, I wanted to be in the mainstream leadership.
Okay, I understand. Now let's talk about your mayorship and also service delivery. I'm sure most of our viewers here are waiting to hear that part. Mayor, this is your second term leading Harare. You know, you started with a strong vision, a world-class city by 2025.
Yes.
But today, and also poor drainage, also kushaya kwemvura mu Zimbabwe muna mvura best masewage ari kuputika zvinoratidza kuti seguta riri kutodonha kwete kusimuka. Do you still believe we are on track? And also maybe the word the world-class city a dream has become just a political slogan?
No. We've got shortcomings. We've had some challenges. As you know, you were talking about the political history of the country. We went into a protracted period where there was little investment within Harare. But if you look at Harare right now, I will challenge people, because most of the people haven't traveled in the rest of Africa. Most people travel to UK and other countries and South Africa. And there is, of course, a legitimate comparison. But Harare, as it is, it is closer to being a top-class city than many African cities that you know of, north of us. And if you come to Harare, if you look at the key ingredients that make a city, let's come from the airport. The airport, that is the international entry. The airport has been proved to become a world-class city. If you look at some of the buildings that we have and that have been built when we made that vision, buildings like Joiner City, buildings like Eastgate, which were not there, and many other shopping centers like Highlands, the new shopping centers here, and many other boutique shopping centers. If you look at the cluster homes that are coming up in some of the areas, the construction that is happening, and even some of the entertainment spots that you go to, they would not be lost in any world-class city. So you will see that some of the ingredients and the DNA of the world-class city, we are getting there. Even if you look at the junction that has been done, Trabablas, by the government, it's a world-class junction. Outside South Africa, this side of Africa, you will not find it.
But some of the development that you are actually noting right now or talking about were done by the government instead of Harare City Council.
We are part of government. We work together. We complement government. When we fight to get into government, when we get into government, we work together to do certain things.
So you are doing all these projects together with the government?
We're working and in cooperation with the government. The roads this leading towards Parliament that have improved. If you look at Loma Gundi, if you look at 2nd Street, that road is a world-class road. Loma Gundi, now cars are moving, and the feedback has been there. Yes, the challenges are there in the the western side and the southern suburbs. We didn't get to them during the SADC period, but we are now coming towards them just to return the roads that were there. Secondly, the issue that we need to deal with is the issue of water and the issue of energy and the issue of the roads.
Okay, we'll get there. But let's talk about the cleanliness. Our city of Harare is not looking that good as compared to, let's say, Bulawayo. If you go to Bulawayo, I think they've got their own lifestyle. It's different. You don't see litter everywhere. You don't see... Even I think the people from Bulawayo are also disciplined.
Culture. You see, that is where I was saying that, and when I spoke tongue in cheek, we need a culture of cleanliness. Culture is not a sign of wealth. You can be rich and be dead. You can't eat whilst you are walking. You come out of your house carrying food so that you can eat it in the car. And then you eat it, you throw away what you are eating. You cannot leave a place where you buy food, walk around, throw away the trash. You cannot sell anywhere where you don't sweep. You need to be hygienic yourself. It's a habit issue that people must understand, that their well-being and the aesthetics of the place that they are living is directly proportional to how clean they are and they ought to be. And it's a collective responsibility. Yes, as a city, we have to move the litter. We have improved a bit with our partnership with Joya Pomona. Now, suburbs that were not receiving trucks in Harare are receiving trucks.
Yeah.
Another 20 or 40 trucks are coming through by the end of this month.
Okay.
Where we will have more trucks moving. We now have a timetable. We now have a bit of predictability in the collection of litter.
Okay.
But what we have not had is the attitudinal change. And that's where we want to do hard policing, protecting the environment. Anenge arasarara tomusunga vari kusiya pamberi pemashops pavo pakasviba tovasunga vasiri kuchenesa pavanogara tovasunga vari kuthrowa that litter forward. So that's where we need to come to. And Zimbabweans, it's very funny. A Zimbabwean, when they cross the border, they are model citizens anyway. A Zimbabwean in South Africa, a Zimbabwean in the UK, a Zimbabwean in Dubai is more often than not a model citizen.
But when they come back,
cross a border, cross a border, achagoni kudriver, akurasa marara pese pese, akubudisa private party yake pa bottle store.
Exactly.
Ototanga kuweta ari ipapo. Oshaya kuti zvimbofamba sei. So it is zi kuti anenge apindwa nemweya way. But when they are outside, you'll find that they are model citizens.
No, I understand. But now that you've failed to achieve the goal, the 2025 goal that you wanted to achieve, the world-class city, by 2025, what's next now? Do you have another new target?
No.
And if there is a new target in the area,
what we are going to do is we have not failed to achieve the world-class city.
But this is 2025. It's now November. I think it's just a month.
But I've given you the ingredients of a world-class city that you have. You are a world-class DJ. Okay? Look at this setup.
Yeah.
This is a podcast that is like any podcast you can find all over the world. There are elements of Zimbabwean life that are world-class city. This is the only city in Southern Africa, outside South Africa, where top cricket nations come to play cricket. This is the only city outside South Africa where you'll have good international swimming tournaments. This is the only city outside South Africa where you will have roads that are being built and junctions that are built that are world class.
Yeah.
This is the only city probably outside South Africa where you have multi-billion companies coming out of InScore, like Econet and so forth.
Yeah.
So the ingredients for us to be a world-class city are there. We are closer to a world-class city than we were in 2012.
Maybe let's try and simplify it for the people of the benefit of our viewers, Your Worship. Please, can you just personally define a world-class city? World-class city. Just give us a definition.
A definition of a world-class city is a 360 degree, where if you want to play sports, you can play sports in a world-class environment. Where if you want to have entertainment, you will have entertainment in a world-class environment. Where if you want to travel, you can travel in an airport that is world-class, on a road that is world-class. If you want energy, you can get it. If you want water, you can get it. And if you need to dispose of your solid and liquid waste, you can do it in a world-class environment. And also where you can get jobs that are befitting a world-class status. So
now, from what you've said, where are we?
Where are we? We are, I think we are halfway there. What we need to take care of are things like water. We need to have consistent delivery of water. We need to also have consistent delivery of energy. We also need to have consistent taking of refuse. And then once we have done that, and then we need to modernize our buildings and our suburbs using modern methods of construction, renewing the old suburbs and making sure that the new suburbs are in line with modern and contemporary methods of governing. And then we also have to provide jobs. At the very essence of a city, people make the mistake of thinking that Harare is a refugee camp. Harare is not a refugee camp. Harare is the capital city, is the commercial hub. We must make the money. You cannot be pro-poor if you are poor yourself. It means you're just poor with everyone else. So I hear people saying we want the city to be pro-poor. It can't be pro-poor if it's poor. It's just poor.
It's poor, yeah.
We have to make the wealth so that we can say, Harare is a city which is rich, but it is
poor.
Pro-poor. You can't be a pro-poor person when you don't have the money. You are part of the poverty. So we need to make sure that as Harare, we provide the opportunities for people to make money. And once money is being made, we then create the policies of spreading it around and creating an environment that allows people to grow.
Okay. You once said the city is losing about 10 million US dollars per year because of a broken billing system.
Yes.
And another, 4 to 4.5 million disappeared from the quarry fund. What concrete steps have you taken to recover that money and, hold those responsible?
Well, we've taken them to court, to VAC, in terms of the quarry. Then we have now brought back the billing system. The award was done. So in the coming budget, as from January.
This coming January,
okay, they will have finished the implementation. Right now, they are busy doing the mechanics of reconnecting the ERP, which is what we call the Enterprise Resource Package. Once they do that, we will then be able to do billing. We were losing water, we're losing money in terms of non-billable water. 60% of the water was not being paid for. We are now introducing prepaid water meters and smart meters to be able to account for every drop of water that we put out. We will then close the gaps. We are going to then make sure that most of our processes are electronic. And people interface with technology rather than the human elements, so that we don't have spillages. So that's what we have done, and I'm happy that we have now got the ERP. We have also done the master plan. The last master plan was done 25 years ago. It's been on public display, and we are now planning the city. And once we have the master plan, it will tell us how we want to plan the city, where will be our CBDs, where will be our industry, where will be our schools, homes, how big, what will we do, what is our transportation system, rail, bus, we need to have a rapid mass transport system, cycling system, an environmental city, where will we get our water, where will we get our food, and so forth. So the master plan is going to come out by the end of this year. It was on public display. It has closed. We are now looking at the feedback from the people. Once we put it in, we'll then put out a master plan. So that's part of the process, because if you are not planning, you won't have a vision. Now that we have done the master plan, we have got the ERP, we are bringing billable water. What's left now is to look at where do we get energy. Part of the issue is that we used to have a power station as the seat of Harare. You know, when you're coming out there, the thermal power station. So we're going to talk to government, get that thermal power station back, and try to find investors to have it come up again. That's about 120 megawatts. Once, then we will section part of our farm to get to 200, 300 megawatts from solar energy. And I believe if we have our own generation of electricity, it means part of our functions that require a lot of electricity, like production of water, we are paying $3 million US every month to ZESA. But you know, they took our power station. The next day, they started charging us. It's like someone takes your cow, and tomorrow you have to buy milk from your own cow. But we are now working together to deal with that historical and legacy issue. And once energy becomes a book entry, it means we can do... And
do you think you're going to get that thermal power station anytime soon?
Yeah. It's actually now under maintenance. It's not producing electricity, and I think it's a matter of us sitting down together with the HE, the president, ZESA, the Minister of Energy, ourselves, and we get it up. We need it up so that we help the people of Zimbabwe get energy. You know, you cannot have a crow anditika uyo yane bhuru iwe une hadzi wodzigarisa mumatanga akasiyana imuchida kuti mumbe dziwane munotaurirana dzosangana dzoita chi
mwana ndizvo
saka ndo zvatingangosiyika chinhu chinoprodusa energy chakangomira apo
ndiri kupanzwa muchitaura nyaya yeenergy iyoyo pane nyaya iri kunetsa zvamanje manje yemvura chaiyo worship nekuti mvura iri kurwadza wakawanda mudzimba hamuna mvura. Morton Jeffrey plant was designed for about 200,000 people. Yet today it is, it must save over 2 million people, but it's producing less than half its capacity now. So
okay, that's a challenge. Morton Jeffrey was built in 1956, so you'll understand it was upgraded by the Chinese, 140 million, and done. But now the package and the agreement we have on the smart meters is also to upgrade Morton Jeffrey. So we pump water from Manyame. Manyame is 70% full. Lake Chivero is 56% full. So we are finishing the pumps for Manyame. I think end of this month, one of the pumps will be fully fitted. We are going to put 5 pumps that get water. You know, there's a tunnel. That comes from Manyame into Lake Chivero. And we were not drawing water because the pumps were dead. The government bought for us new pumps, and we are now installing them. So we started 2 months ago, and one of the pumps should be about finished. We'll finish the 5 pumps. Then we'll be able to get water from Manyame to dilute the dirty water from Lake Chivero. Kunji is going to be impounding water this year. The dam is about 90% finished. It's already collecting water. The pipeline from Kunji is already being constructed. Last week I went to China with Xinhua and the city council officials to look at the design of the plant that we are going to build to treat water from Kunji, which is going to give us 300 megaliters of water, which will help us to deal with Vanama Vuku and the
do you think it's sufficient enough?
Yeah, it's sufficient enough. It's going to alleviate the problem. And then Sunway City and so forth, and the Chitungwisa and many others. We are also going to get a pipeline from Muchekaranwa Dam that is going to put water in Prince Edward Waterworks, which will make Prince Edward Waterworks work all year round. Normally, Prince Edward Waterworks stops working around about this time, September, October, November, and starts working in December when water is accumulated. But we want to make sure that Prince Edward Waterworks, so that will help us alleviate water.
It's okay, Mawina.
So that's the initiatives that we are having around water. And then the other issue of water is the chemical regime. So we have been working with Chemplex and Chilmand. These are the producers of some of the chemicals that are needed, the disinfectants. So we're going to work to expand their capacity, to expand the production levels, so that we can have continuous supply and also make it cheaper to get the chemicals to clean the water.
Muri papo Mayor, mvura inobuda pa tap. People are not even confident enough kutoimwa mvura iyo. I think not only confident, avatodi kumwa mvura iyo inobuda pa tap, pa pombi dzedu, nekuti sometimes inobuda iri green, omwati inenge sewage, omwati maybe pombi dziri ne mvura idzitori ne tsvina. I don't know, but last year again, the Morton plant, had a total shutdown because of lack of sulfate, aluminum sulfate, meaning the entire city went, without water. How did that happen under your leadership, Mayor? And also, what assurance do residents have that it won't happen again?
Well, it isn't. But remember, before I became mayor, the shutdowns were more frequent.
Yeah.
We have since I became mayor since 2020, the shutdowns have been less frequent, and I've worked through the whole water chain system, the ecosystem. I've worked to get assistance from government. I've worked with the chemical producers. I've worked with our own distribution, our own plant. So what we have now, we are able to produce 350 megaliters per day, 365 days of the week.
As compared to what?
As compared to when we were having frequent shutdowns, where we would have maybe an accumulative of 2 months.
So does it mean that we are also now having mvura kakawanda mudzimba nekuti kumwe dzimwe nzvimbo mvura yavo yakawanda pawiki kana pamwedzi?
We are now having mvura yakati one day kune mamwe ma-areas. And one of the reasons that will tell you is the issue of cholera has reduced since I came in. Issues of other diarrheal diseases that used to be prevalent have reduced. And that speaks to the quality of the water. We have chlorine that kills everything in the water. And at the plant, we test the water. We test the water at various points of our water distribution system. Our water is safe. In the areas, there are certain areas where the pipes have been damaged and where certain substances have accumulated. That is when we are pushing the water in those areas. It then gets that contamination. Then panika. Kuti haichamwiki
kugadzireka mapombi acho than kuti vanhu varamba vachiona mvura yechingwe yakadaro tojaira.
If you looked last week, I went and we bought cars and we bought pipes. But you know, people in this country love cars.
Vakati mimi mawandira kumota. Why?
Vanhu vabva vaona havana kuona mapipe because pipe haina shape inonzi raptor.
Right.
Pipe haina shape yeraptor.
Right.
Saka inononoka kudini
kubuda
kuoneka. But ndakamira pamota ndamira pamapipe. Piles and piles of pipe. We've bought 167 kilometers worth of pipe.
But why buy lots of cars when you have got this, problems, or these problems I'm going to face as city council? Why prioritize on vehicles?
Our water distribution network is 6,400 kilometers. Manzwisa
ndapabati
kubva kudarika Cape
to Cairo. Alright.
Saka munhu haangatimbi netsoka 6,400 kilometers achimhanya akasenga pipe achindoda unodzigadzirisa.
Right.
So the key issue inonetsa pakudhila nema-best pipes and the best sewers and those who have been reporting we have been using ma-residence cars kuti kana uda tuye koko uya utitore sezvaisimboitika kune vaya vanobata mbavha kuti kana uda tibate mbavha uya tutore kustation touya ikoko. The vehicle is a critical component of getting the pipe and the person who knows to do there. And when you have 6,400 kilometers of pipe, it's not a joke. You need vehicles. They're actually not enough. We are going to increase them. We are putting another 40 single bay. It's the same with the collection of litter. The distance from the toll gate, Harare South, to Pomona is 35 kilometers. So it means if a car goes 35 kilometers, that's 70 kilometers. That is almost close to getting to Chivu. Right. So a person will then ask you, why do you need vehicles to do that? You cannot operate a city this massive without vehicles, because you need to ferry people. It's a massive enterprise.
So before you acquired these vehicles, you had a shortage of vehicles.
We had
city council.
People had to actually use their own councillors, residents. Kutukana ukavafonera waitonzi takunzwa ichi chemo uyai musenge munhu anokwanisa kudini kugadzira. So we needed the vehicles to ferry the pipes and the person who knows what to do.
So that means we are going to see an end to this mess that
we are going to see the mess. Look, my water based Kwandiri is a bad thing, but it's also a good thing because it shows that I'm giving you water.
Okay.
If kana ndisingakupi mvura hakuna chi
Amafumeka. Itombo zvayo
kuti paputike ndonge mvura yadini yauya saka iwewe ukandiripotera kuti kwakati kwaita water based not hena law.
But people are also complaining about the old pipes. Some of these like Matara, even Motor Jeffrey 1956, even the pipes mamaja trikona arima gateway my old suburbs like Highfields, my Vukum, Fakos, my old suburbs, are my old pipes. Hence sometimes panobuda mvura inobuda dzakaita zvimwe zvezve because zadzi kudhara. What measures are you taking to make sure kuti mapipe maiza amatara aya ndo mapipe acho ari kuenda ikoko rina mabhuku kuti mapipe amatara nezvawa makatora pamwe chete nedzimota ane kwaari kuenda?
No, ndo kwaari kuenda. Satrukita the way we are going to repair. So this is the first phase. We've got 167 kilometers of pipes. The second phase we are buying 220 kilometers of pipe. So what we do is that it's going to be targeted replacement. So paita best
pochinjwa
pipe pari critical pochinjwa pipe pane mavalve pamvura painenge chitena tochinja pipe panoenda kudzimba tochinja mapipe because to do a whole scale change of the system will take so many years and also huge cost which we do not have at the moment. So there are certain areas where the pipes are good enough to get clean water to where they are. We leave it like that. Then as we move on, once we get more revenue, we'll then continue with this targeted replacement maybe for the next 5 years.
Okay.
But this one, we will do that. We are also going to do a similar program for the sewer, where we are going to get pipes. We are going to enter into a public-private partnership and make sure that we replace the pipes, like what we are doing in Glenview. The problem of Glenview is that Glenview was built on our sewer network that comes from the whole city. So these are huge pipes that are 6 meters deep. And they've got a lot of pressure because we are taking from the whole city. And then Glenview was put on top of that. And some of the toilets in Glenview were directly connected to these big pipes.
Okay.
That's why when it bursts, it's like a river. So we are now
Victoria Falls,
So we are now dealing. Right now we are digging a 2.7 kilometer stretch in Glenview, and we're putting new pipes. And those pipes are new and will not burst. So we will do that for the same
in phases
until we get it right.
Mayor, Jacob Mafume is now handling Harare's West, but many people believe it's expensive deal, right? About $22,000 a day. Do you believe residents are getting value for the money?
Well, sometimes people throw out figures that are not based on the actual figures that are happening. There is no amount of money that has been paid to that level. The contract might read like it is certain figures, but that's not probably what happened.
What's the figure?
In the right. What is happening is that from the city of Harare, we have not paid Geopomona anything to debt. That is the city of Harare. We have been assisted by government, and the assistance by government is based on the returns and the tonnages that has been collected by Geopomona in terms of the collection pipeline. So you go to the tons and so forth. So you must remember, we have 322,000 billable properties. Each property pays close to about $10 to its refuge, which should make about 3 million point something per month. Only 50% of the residents, less than 50% of the residents are paying their bills. So that at any given month, we are only collecting about 1.2 or 3 million US dollars from the residents for refuse collection. And this has been used mainly for the council operations, and we are unable to pay. So the government has had to step in to assist in terms of
paying Geopomona. So far, how much did the government pay to Geopomona?
You'll have to ask the government.
You said we're working together?
Yeah, we are working together.
Yeah, but you should know.
Well, no, I don't know. I'm just a mayor. There is the exchequer, Mkoma George, and there's the minister, Mutuli. What I know is that kana inini ndichinzi ndikubetserwa kutorwa marara. Ndinomira pamarara otorwa. Zvakafanana nema-ARV atinopuwa ne-USAID.
Right.
Handibvunzi kuti American government yakazomatenga kunani,
Okay.
yakazobhadhara mari. Inini chandoziva ndine vanhu vari kuda kubwira ma-ARV vari 15. Vanhu ivavava tovapa here ma-ARV vapuwa akakwana here.
Right.
Saka inini ndinongoziva kuti ndine marara akawanda so. Hurumende iri kundibatsira kugadzira marara.
Yeah.
Kwakati kuchatorwa kwatorwa here. Kana kusina kutorwa ndofona ndokushanda tese kwatiri kuita.
Some residents feel council has prioritized payments to contractors instead of service. So, service to people. Is the Geopomona project a financial burden or a real solution?
It's a solution. We have not paid anything. Yeah. How can you say it has been prioritized when the city of Harare has not paid the residents themselves? So the residents should be happy, okay, that our dump site, which was an eyesore, which was smelly, which was causing fires during the hot season, which was basically an eyesore, is now perfect. There are lawns. It doesn't smell. It's being managed well. There are no fires. We used to close schools. It's no longer being closed. They must also be happy that over 20 trucks right now and 20 tipper trucks and skip bins are working on a collection route, and the residents to date have not paid anything. It will come a time when they will have to pay, maybe in the future and so forth. But when we've put our finances in order, our billing in order, that's when they will cry. But for now, I think every resident should be dancing and happy. And I know from our residents' meetings that people, all my councillors, when we were preparing for the budget, the feedback was that at least you are now doing something on refuse collection using Geopomona. We are now seeing trucks that we were not seeing. The complaint that was there was that can the trucks keep coming, be regular, give us more. And I've said more are coming. And we are happy with the way we have worked with government. It's the same with the fire engines. The government gave us fire engines to the cities, not only Harare. And we are using them. That is why now we've had less and less devastating fires. And inini akuzi kubvunza kuti alright hurumende makazobhadhara mari kufire engine. Inini chiripo ndechekudzima moto wasangana neresident. Totosvika to the extent yekuti last time takatoturunura munhu aida kuzviuraya mumuti nemafire engines iwawo. If we are able to respond right now, we can respond in 7 minutes of an incident being reported to us. And therefore we appreciate that type of assistance.
But you failed to respond to the accident. Like, remember the Seke 17? We lost 17 people.
Yeah, that is regrettable.
On Seke Road. You failed to respond to that. People were like, the whole city council doesn't have a crane to rescue people. What are you doing? What measures are you taking?
We are going to solve those issues. But problem, vanhu vanofunga kuti Harare City na Mayor Mafume ndi Mayor weZimbabwe. Ndi Mayor weHarare. Kune chitungwiza ndo inodhila nearea yakaita problem iyoyo. Then paside pacho pane army barrack rinodhila neproblem yakaita seiyoyo. Yes, we work together and eventually we had to come from Harare to deal with that issue. But I'm going to have a discussion with our counterparts at the army and our counterparts in Chitungwi that they can't wait for us to come from Harare to respond to emergencies. They should have responded faster. We are not blaming. It's regrettable, but I feel that we are going to have to tighten our disaster response coordination so that all governmental agencies are acutely aware of the need to move quickly when a disaster happens. We need to have those things in place, and I can assure the nation both the population of Chitungwiza and the population of Harare, that we are working flat out to create a mechanism to deal with that. We will buy the necessary cranes, mobile cranes that are needed to lift that, and the various vehicles. There is a process and a memorandum of understanding that we have signed with Discovery Ambulances to also increase.
Yeah, because I was about to ask about the rescue, response. Yeah, like, when accidents happen, sometimes, ambulance, my private players, they will come. Otosvika apa otosvika kuti right takutakura vanhu woenda kuchipatara wonzi hama yake iri kupi, we need payment, we need mari yakati yakati, toda $100 mwana asina, itsaona yatoitika already, but where are city council ambulance to rescue the residents?
That's what I'm saying. We've put up a levy that deals with emergencies. We are going to enter into these agreements
with Discovery.
Okay. And there are going to be a number of ambulances, 45, that are going to be put in the system. We are also going to buy a number of ambulances as a city, and I understand that government is going to also place a number of ambulances in place. So I would want, in a perfect world, I would want these ambulances to be there at the beginning of the festive season, so that a lot of traveling from the diaspora, in-country traveling, in-country tourism will be happening in December. And I would like our disaster response mechanisms, both central government, middle government, and us as the lower tier of government, to be ready. So I can assure you that we regret the loss of life that could have been saved, and I assure you that the lessons that have been learned will not be learned in vain, and will make sure that we rectify.
Great. So Mayor, let's talk about Mbare now, especially Kumatapi floods. They've lived in terrible conditions for years. Overcrowding, collapsing buildings, and also burst pipes. Every administration promises to fix Matapi, but nothing changes. What has your government done, differently?
Well, we are working with the councillors. We have put up some pipes. Some of the areas were not connected to the sewer at all. We have put up new connections. What we want to do is to find out how we deal with the individual floods, so that we reconnect them to the sewer grid. And also the populations there has increased. Those, you remember, they were designed, many of them as bachelor flats, but now they are living families. And also it meant that the pipes that were designed there were smaller. So it's a whole system. We have to widen them or put bigger pipes from there onwards. As you saw, we are doing we are investing in Mbare for a bit. We've got a new market that we built. That is the first phase. We are going to build the second phase of the market. And part of these phases, they also work on the underlying infrastructure. That is the roads, the sewer system. Then we'll go to the houses, find out how we can then deal with the sewer systems there. Once we deal with the systems there, we also deal with the beautification of the floods. And hopefully, in a perfect world, I would want us to build higher, probably build new flats that are 12 stories higher. Now, lift technology is cheap, and once we have energy sources, we can then build 12 stories higher. We are running out of space, and we keep building horizontally. We are eating into our fertile land, where we ought to get food to feed ourselves and to do our industries, and we are spreading the town, and therefore we are not building viable economies of scale. So we need to densify, go up. The city cannot be as short as the mayor.
It's okay. So earlier this year, council raised also public toilets funds, fees to $1. Vanhu vari kucomplaina kuti hey, mari yakawanda wamwe hasi kwanza kwana $1 per day. But the city council is charging $1 a day kupinda toilet. I don't know. Do you think that's fair, or maybe are you considering maybe reducing the price?
Yeah, maybe we'll look at the price and make it maybe 50 cents.
50 cents,
or even lesser.
Yeah.
In the current budget, the government has directed us to reduce a number of user fees, which we have done.
Yeah.
We are currently in the budgetary process. Let me look at it before the budget is out and find the rationale of the dollar charge, and then see if we cannot make it to 50 cents or thereabouts. we need to invest more in the toilets and also find a way of making some of them free, or some other funding mechanisms. I can't imagine trying to hold it in because you've lost your dollar.
Imagine.
It can be it can come with dramatic consequences.
It's okay. You matara jadze health as well. Now, city clinics are reportedly running out of drugs, understaffed and closing early. When was the last audit of city health facilities done, and also what did it show?
Which clinic ran out of drugs? We don't run out of drugs.
But drugs Ariko?
No, we have the vaccines. All the children that need to be vaccinated are vaccinated. The ARVs that we have to give out, we are giving them out. The drugs that we deal with primary health care.
Yes.
So I'm not quite sure that is accurate. Certainly no one has made a report that we've run out of vaccines, ARVs. Actually, we've done more vaccination programs. Right now we're doing one which was launched by the First Lady a few days ago. I don't know what it was about, but I forget. But we are doing a lot of vaccination. There's been a lot of support from government, from donor agencies, and as far as drugs are concerned. Remember, we have a huge network. We assist in the giving birth of 3,000 babies a month.
Right.
In the clinics of Harare. We have put a theater at Mavuku.
Okay.
Remember, Mbuyane and hospital is closed for renovations, and we've increased the number of operations that are happening at Mavuku. We are going to build more theaters, and we are going to expand our maternity clinics and make them more dignified. We are going to finish the building, Upper Wilkins, which had not been finished since 1995.
Okay.
And we are going to finish it within the next half year.
Okay.
And then we are going to make sure that we expand. We just a few days ago, we are holding discussion with the Switzerland's embassy. We're going to get 1.5 million US to be able to buy MRI scans, and other diagnostics equipment, which we are going to give at concessionary rates, so that we reduce the cost of those MRIs. We've got a plan as far as the health.
Are you also maybe considering renovating some of the clinics?
Yes,
because if you get into just walking into a clinic council, you know clinic kanzuru, the infrastructure is just everything is just down.
The beautification of the infrastructure is going to be a priority in this, even the townhouse, even Cleveland, even Rowan Martin. They look prehistoric, and there is no excuse why we can't ask build other residents to build nicer buildings and to improve their buildings, whilst our own are not up to speed. So we have budgeted for that, and that work, I can assure you, we are going to hold a podcast at a townhouse at Cleveland, in a different place.
Great. So every rainy season, Harare CBD turns into a swimming pool. Every rain season, Judas Nyerere Way, Copacabana Fair Street, and also streets are flooded. Motors not on you, but is no school as we speak. Mayor, how did we get there, and why has drainage remained a low priority for so long?
Well, the drainage is there. The issues that I've been talking about is our littering culture. If you drop things in the drains, maize cobs, pampers, all the waste that you produce and you put it in the drain, it clogs. And part of it has been the cleaning of we must not clog our drainages. And then we need to clean the drainages. And we do that almost all the time. And we are doing that. We've employed close to 250 people whose sole purpose is to clean the drainage. And they are doing so. We will look at the results of the work. There was rains a few days ago. maybe they are still light, so there wasn't much panic. It's only that Zimbabweans sometimes behave funny. The moment it starts raining is the time they get into the road. Everyone wants to drive to go somewhere when it starts raining. I can't understand it. Instead of waiting, someone, the very moment when you are looking at the weather report and it tells you there will be a thunderstorm, that is the time you decide you want to buy an ice cream. And you're coming out, and then halfway, the journey of trying to get your ice cream, you realize that your ex-Jap car was not designed to buy ice cream in the rain. So in other countries, this country is spoiled because it has good weather every day. In other countries, you do not come out of your house without first checking on the phone what the weather will be. It can snow, it can drown you, or it can hit you to death. This is a perfect country. I always say to people that in this country, a fool can survive for many years. In other countries, why they remain with clever people is that fools die if they do a foolish thing. In Zimbabwe, you can foolishly sleep outside for 5 years. In other countries, you sleep outside once in winter. That's it. The Darwin effect. Yourself and your foolish DNA perish in the snow. But here, foolish DNAs every day multiply and have babies because we have got some of the best weather in the world. Here in Harare, we're in here. You can survive without aircon. You can sleep. In other cities, in other countries, you can't.
Vendors in Mbare, Glenview, and CBD say council is treating them like criminals, chasing them, taking their goods, and also destroying their stores. Do you think it is the best way to handle citizens who are simply trying to earn a living?
No, it's not the best way. We need to sit down with the representatives of the vendors. We cannot allow the whole of Harare to become a vending city. We have to segment certain areas where we agree with the vendors that they have to work. And then we have to leave the semblance of a city in other areas. So therefore, it's a discussion that we need to keep having. It's a discussion that we need to have sooner than later. We have asked the vendors to organize themselves, to come to us, come up with solutions, so that we avoid the hard law solutions. And we have delayed implementing some of the measures we have to, in the hope that in between time, we will be able to come up with an agreement. But if it doesn't, we are going to use hard law to enforce a situation where we can have multiple uses of the city. The city is about to be overwhelmed. Supermarkets are closing, with people selling the same things that are being sold in the supermarket outside on the pavement. We are having pavements not being navigable because of vending. We are having our litter not being able to be done, the systems clogging, and now we are having night vending. And and it's difficult to clean the city. So I hope that if the representatives of the vendors are listening, that it is very important that we come up with an agreement, we come up with a way of operating that allows them to continue with their living, and that also makes the city of Harare not look. Harare is a commercial center. It's also a diplomatic center. We had the SADC summit. You never know, we might host the AU. We are hosting a number of summits. It's a city that has certain aspirations. We host a lot of sports. We host tourism. We host a lot of things. It's a melting point of a lot of uses, and therefore one use cannot overwhelm the city.
Now let's talk about the governance, integrity, and politics. Your Worship, over the past few years, your name has appeared in several reports, from misleading a commission of inquiry to irregular, land allocation, unapproved property use, and also governance concerns at Townhouse. For someone leading a city that's already battling issues of corruption and public mistrust, How do you respond to residents who question your integrity and capacity to clean up, Harare, when your own record is under scrutiny?
Well, we are always under scrutiny. You and I are public figures. We are named on a variety of issues, from women, music, money, entertainment,
Yes.
and so forth. It's part of the process. What is clear is that we have had nothing to hide. I'm one of the most investigated public officials in this country. Every move, every statement, everything that I say is held up to scrutiny, and I welcome that. We have provided answers where answers were sought. We have explained where explanations were due. The only problem is that people remember the accusation, but don't remember the explanation.
Yeah.
And that is the way life is more often than not. There is an expectation that if you are a public official, you must be poor. I did not come into the mayorship as a poor person. In fact, I've never, my story is not a rigs to riches story. Andina kana panotembwa song kuti anosumudza marombe kubva muguruva handina kumboita rombe life yangu hapana kana guruva randakasumudzwa naMwari. I've always lived a life where things have been in order. My mother was a teacher, my father was a headmaster. I managed to do school very well. I became a lawyer, started making enough money to feed myself and many other people who rely on me. So there shouldn't be a shock to the people.
So when you became the mayor of Harare, did you declare your assets?
Yeah, we declared I'm a lawyer. I'm a professional. I'd worked for embassies. I've worked for everything. Many of my properties are under title deeds that I had bought personally out of my sweat and my wife sweat. So I don't understand. In fact, I have not reached the potential of riches that I ought to have reached.
But I remember in February, Magaboshekesa ma streets mayor. The mayor was dare the wrong address, and it was all over social media.
Yeah.
What happened at that time? Magaras got address issue.
Well, there was we had moved into a new property and was out of the country at that time, and it was the same street.
Yeah.
Same place, and when I spoke, I just, instead of saying 102, I said 1110. It caused a huge excitement among the people.
Was Magawa ended up at 1110 instead of 103?
Well, they decided to go there. I told them that this is the house that I had left. The number is different, but this is my house. But yes, ndo pandaigara ndandatobvapoka ndakatopfeka sutu dzangu dzakanaka, wardrobe, mudzimai wangu anga arimo, vana vangu vanga varimo, and everything that belongs to me. But look, it's I don't know, maybe people think that the mayor of Harare can't stay in Greendale, or it would be an anomaly if I cannot afford to live in the city that I am governing, isn't it?
Even in Borodale?
I can live any part of the city. Would be the expectation of anyone, and that is my expectation. So
in your own assessment, Mayor, Mungatire, you've done justice in your 2 terms.
Yeah, I've stabilized the city. Cholera was rampant. Government and city relations were bad. There was no hope. In many of the areas, strikes were prevalent in the workers, and since we've come, we have done a period of stabilization, and that period of stabilization, we are now moving into the period of growth. We have been assisted by the government, the agreements that we have signed, the investment that it has done in the city of Harare, and it's going to grow. I see the people want to invest in Harare, from the diaspora. People are building. Everyone wants to come and have a piece of Harare. Investment is high. Buildings are going up every day. Cranes have come back to the city of Harare. Sports has come back to Harare. The Premier Soccer League, even the Premier Soccer League has moved from the mining towns back to Harare. There's a vibe, there's an excitement, there's happiness to be under Mafume.
All right.
In the city of Harare.
Saka zvekutoti mimi mukutasira here kuti mudzoke muzomira imwe term again.
Well, it's up to
because the mayorship ikaisena ne-presidential limits, say 2 terms. As a mayor, you can save as many terms as possible.
Yes.
So are you going to vie for another term?
Yeah, well, look, the people will have me. If the people will have me, and I do believe that I have been fair to the people. They've not paid me as much as they ought to. My allowance is $200. And then I've got a free grave.
Yeah.
Should I die from the stress?
Okay. There's a free grave there.
There's a free. The residents have assured that I'll
get everyone
every grave. They've given me that, but I'm happy to say that I've given it the best shot that I can.
Yeah.
I've stabilized their city. The issues that I'm talking about, the trucks that have come in for refuse, the pipes that have come in for water, the stabilization in a number of the services that they get, they will start to bear the fruits.
Okay.
We're certainly going to deal with the inner city roads. I've been speaking to Zinara, I've been speaking to government, and the solution is going to come on the inner city roads. And once that's done, I think the people themselves, the moment I say I'm leaving, they'll be in tears and they will cry so hard that I'll come
the mayor
back.
is going. You should come back. All right, no, that's fine. Now let's talk about the national politics and opposition role. As a lawyer, politician, and also a member of the opposition, what do you think about the 2030 agenda? It's been topical. It's been talked about. In different on different platforms. Where ZANU-PF seeks to extend President Mnangagwa's current term to 2030.
Well, it is what it is. It is there. It is still an internal discussion within ZANU-PF. It will come to be brought to the attention of the relevant bodies that will discuss that issue, should it be brought. And we will tackle it from there. At the present moment, I am a mayor for all, those who want 2030 and those who don't want 2030. And I need to make sure that all those people are able to get the services that they require to be able to argue with each other. And I believe that politics is what it is, and it will be what it is. And we'll see it.
In the event that maybe it succeeds, are you someone who's supporting that?
In the event that it succeeds, well, the question will, even if you don't support, even if you support, what will you change? If it succeeds, it is what it is. We move on. The basic issues will still have to be dealt with. Sewage will need to be moved, roads will need to be done, water will need to be delivered. I'm acutely aware at this present moment that I am not a spokesperson of the opposition. There has not been any consultative process that has been done within the organs of the opposition, and until such a time that is done, I will restrict my role to that of being a mayor for all.
Now, when the MDC was formed, Mafume, the opposition was demanding for democracy and political reform, worker and citizen representation, a response to economic mismanagement. So, opposition Mafume, are you guys still fighting for these things? Opposition. Some people say, where's the opposition?
We are there. It is there. The problem of our politics is that it had become so polarized that you needed to be opposing vigorously every day. It was never going to be sustainable. A society was never going to look across each other for years and years and years. We are the same people. At some point, we were going to tone down the opposition. It was going to redefine even the ruling party. Now a person can wear a t-shirt, opposition.
Yeah.
Mumu akapfeka t-shirt yeZANU-PF akagara side by side. Look at other countries like South Africa. It's not a life and death issue that Vanamalema lost the election, and therefore the ANC is in power. Now that we are talking the DA, which is even predominantly made by a different race altogether, and by some of the elements that used to oppress the ANC, they are working together in government. The expectation that people seem to have that if you are an opposition leader in Zimbabwe, ukangopuwa butsu, ukangozonzi ningati utoti saka zviri wrong, is unsustainable. It's a high toxic environment, high energy, high friction environment, which was going to wear out. We need to find a way where we can be in opposition, but still be able to identify common areas of convergence and still be able to deal with the areas of divergence without a zero-sum game. And I believe that what is happening now in the current moment is a redefining of the roles of the opposition. I'm a mayor for now, and my idea is not to make sure that residents don't get a service until my party gets into power at some undetermined future. I am here now. The ruling party is there now. So my role is not to be so argumentative, waiting for maybe fighting, maybe party yangu ichapinda chete. Ndakatokupinda ipapapa. Ruling party ikatopinda ipapapa. Anditika. So we work together.
Ndakatopinda ipapapa. But zvironzika nevanhu vanozitiva hanzi vanhu vanozitiva opposition vazhinji vacho, you are getting into politics for into these positions, the council, parliament, for personal gain rather than to serve the general populace.
There's really very little personal gain. Some of us suffer personal loss. What we get in there is to assist the people. And I do believe that there are approaches. When people voted in the country, they knew that the result, they could either have been an opposition government and a ruling party, former, as the case would have been, in the mayorship. They were acutely aware that the mayor of Harare could be from opposition, and the ruling party will have the country. They did not elect us, in my own view, to keep opposing each other. Those who voted for the ruling party in Harare expect the ruling party to work with the opposition to help them. Those who voted for the opposition expect me as an opposition person to work with the ruling party to help them. They did not put me in there to conflict with the ruling party. That expectation will be unrealistic. I have to defend on issues that might not be palatable for the constituency of Harare, but on issues where we want water, we want sewer, we want good roads. How do I be in contradiction to that? And it's not a new situation. At some point, the mayor of London is opposition, and the ruling party is something else. Right now, the mayor of New York is a Democrat. The president is a Republican. The mayor of Cape Town is DA, the president is ANC, and the president of ANC went out and said to his members, it looks like the DA run municipalities are being run better. If the ruling party feels that Jacob Mafume, for now, we are working well with him. There is no contradiction. It's the same country, it's the same people.
In the past years, Mafume, taiona kuti opposition yaisashandidzana zvakanaka negovernment, even ruling party iri yanga iri kutonga the central government, vari mulocal government vanga vasingade kunyanyoshandidzana zvakanaka ne central government. Paitange panika kusabotichana. even when you talk about events, national events, when you talk about attending to national events, let's say there is a hero, there is a national event, there is chakari chiri kuitwa mameya dzimungu vaigona kusapotera kusaenda nezvimwe zvakadaro, but your administration is kind of different and yakaenda a different approach where takuona muri kuenda all those national events, mukuenda ku state house, you're going everywhere, you are also moving with the president sometimes when he's doing whatever matters like in your city. Which is totally different from zvotaimboona before. And pakatanga kudaro, people started saying no, Mafume vakamedzwa neZANU-PF, munhu ari kushanda ruling party. Imimi mhinduro yenyu ipapo yakanyatsomira sei?
Kwena ndina huro yekumedzawe. Kuti ruling party yamedzwa namafu. No, but look, we have to respect our institutions.
Yeah.
The same process that made me the mayor is the same process that made the president the president.
Yeah.
So therefore, if I can accept that I am the mayor through the same process, then I have to respect the totality of the process.
Pamashura pamaita sei as opposition. Maimbosabotage national events. Say maisaenda kuma national events.
It was a philosophical approach which I believe and which I said earlier is unsustainable. God did not make a mistake by making us Zimbabweans.
So that philosophical mistake yaitika nevamwe venyu imi pamakazochinja maitora muri kuita makango achinja mega here as an individual say inisa Mafumeka, I'm going to work with the government. Whether my party likes it or not, I'm going to work with the government. Or it was a Makarogara caucus to say, okay guys, as an opposition, as Triple C, we are going to work with the government. It's my local government.
It's a philosophical approach that cuts across. Parliamentary committees, some of them are being chaired by the opposition. Some are being chaired by the ruling party. Right now they were together in Bulawayo doing the national budget. Opposition MPs were presenting, ruling party MPs were presenting, and ministers were presenting. Other mayors in other cities are also attending national events. And people are moving their chairs that are chaired by ZANU-PF. And I believe that a multi-party system, we were going through a learning curve. And as a country, we were learning. And at that time, we learn lessons at different times. I do believe in the sum total of my approach, people will come to appreciate. When you become mayor, you become a mayor for everyone. And you are the mayor at that point in time. If there is need to give water, water does not ask for a political card. A pothole does not damage an opposition person differently. Electricity, when it's cut, it is cut for all. So there are certain basic things that are provided by a political leadership that is elected at that particular time. And therefore you need to work together with the powers that be. And I do believe what we are doing is the similar like what's happening in South Africa, happening in other countries. We have a way. I'm not reinventing the wheel. We are just working as much as it happens in Kenya. It's just that
but you just came with your own a different approach.
It's a different approach, but it is to deal with the high level of toxicity. We cannot sustain an approach where we have a dual enclave politics. There was a book that was written which was the dual enclave economy. But we cannot have a dual and parallel political environment and hope to sustain it for generations upon generations, like probably the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. We can't. We have to understand that we are in the same country, and in any event, the oxymoron is that the same process that produces the mayor is the same process and the same election that produces a president and other MPs. And therefore, if you accept one part of the result, you must accept the other part of the result. And when you accept the other part of the result, you must accord that institution the respect that it must get in order for things to work. And I believe this approach has enabled us to get more than 40 trucks.
Yeah.
We have been able to get vehicles. We've been able to get kilometers of pipelines. We've been able to get tons and tons of chemicals.
Which was not happening in
the past.
Yeah.
We have been able to make the lives of the ordinary citizen a little bit better. And I believe that should this approach continue, we will then be able to provide the answers and make the capital city a place to live.
Oh, great. So when I talked to Ajit Gumbo, he said members of Triple C who are in the parliament are divided into two. Vamwe vari kwa Chabangu, vamwe vari kwa Jameson Timber. Imimi sameya we opposition as well. Which side ya muri mimi?
Some people create divisions in their own heads. And if I were to follow the definition of Agents Gumbo, I might carry a different agents. I don't see the divisions in there as he defines them.
Yes.
And therefore they are tautologious and the wordplay.
Yeah.
People are in parliament. You are there. I am in council. I am there. I work for the residents at the appointed time. Should the next election come and I present myself, be elected or not elected, I will again be what I am at that time, win or lose. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I hope it made sense to him. And I also hope it made sense to you. And we can leave you too with your own senses.
But that's your party, That's your party. But anyways.
What I'm aware is that the members that are working in parliament and in the councils, they all are working with the caucus that is there.
Okay, President Chamisa has left a vacuum that probably needs, filling. Who do you think anokwanza kupinda ipapo?
The people will choose. The people will choose. He said he left. Well, the people will present themselves. If you present yourself, and then secondly, if you are chosen by the people, you will be able to continue. Well, sometimes he might also come back and say, I'm back. Arnold Schwarzenegger style. Yeah. I'll be back.
So if he comes back, are you going to join his, maybe, let's say he forms a new party. Are you going to join that party?
Yeah, we'll deal with those questions when we get to them, and whether it is a viable options.
Yeah,
I do believe that now we have work to do to avoid politics being self-sustaining.
Yeah.
We have work to do. People are suffering. People need service. People need water. Need a lot of things from us, and we are the leadership now. I hope you don't want me to repeat the things I've said.
I know.
Before when I come into these political spaces.
No, that's fine.
I'm not looking to be led.
I understand. Now,
so I see no deficit.
Okay. Closing reflections. Before we close, what's your message to residents who feel abandoned by the council?
We will come to you, talk to us. We are there at Townhouse. Call us to be where you want us to be. Tell us what particular service you are not getting. Let's come up with a work plan to get that service to you. Let's deal. Let's be there. We are your council. We are accessible. We are not going to be running away from you. And we welcome any feedback and any feedback that includes the problems that you have, solutions if you have them. Even if you don't have solutions, we are there to give the solutions. So bring those things to our attention. We want to include everybody in the city and in the Commonwealth. If you are willing to pay like everybody else your rates, we will also be willing to give you the service.
Great. What do you do when you're not managing the affairs of Harare municipality or practicing law?
Well, I'm a sports aficionado. I like going to see football. I like going to cultural events. I like eating food, and also just seeing the city, and also moving around other cities within and outside the country. And I do believe that part of my passion is to develop a sports economy for the Harare, improve the sports infrastructure. And so I spend more and more time going to cricket matches, swimming matches, football matches, and just I believe that Harare is the center of sports in Zimbabwe and the region. And we have produced many world-class athletes and world-class swimmers and world-class football players. So I believe that we have a duty to improve the infrastructure, make it world-class, so that we start hosting international matches again, and we put our name out there. So you'll find me in the sports.
What legacy do you want to leave as a mayor if this were your last term in office?
Well, I would like to leave a legacy where we have improved the roads, we have improved the refuse collection, where we've got the power stations up, and I would have left a hospital. In other words, I would like to leave a functioning city more than anything else. Something that gives hope that my successor will not be lost in the hoods, and anybody will say, look, the city began and functioned, and a prosperous city. I'm happy with the investment. People are becoming rich in Harare, and it's one of the few cities in the region where people will literally become millionaires. And I'm happy that I'm producing people who succeed. I've even seen your progression. You have, built yourself a very comfortable house, got yourself good cars. I don't know whether you now have a beautiful, you already had a beautiful wife. And you're making it in Harare. And that's the city, that's the legacy, where you can say, gentlemen, I lived in Harare, I was a household name in Harare, and I'm comfortable in Harare. In other words, a city of opportunities.
Wow. Thank you so much, Your Worship. We really appreciate the time we have spent with you here in the studio. Perhaps maybe okay, before I leave, I want to say this. This is your time.
Well, look, we are going to make Harare better. We are determined. We are doing the best that we can. We have a lot of changes in water, in electricity, in roads, in refuse collection that we are going to implement. And the fruits are going to start showing in the next few months. And we hope to give people a better environment than what they've been having. We're going to focus on cleanliness. We want a clean city. People have to be clean. The environment has to be protected. Yes, the protection of the environment is more than just being clean yourself. But that is illustrative, that cleanliness begins with you and then spreads to the environment. Cleanliness begins with me, it begins with you. And once we learn that, once we abhor dirtiness, once we abhor unhealthy environment, we will then be able to work together to create a cleaner and happier city. That's probably my parting words to the citizens of Harare.
Thank you so much.
Your mayor is here. Choose a city. I will choose Harare every day, any day, anytime.
Wow. Fantastic. There was a Harare City Mayor, Your Worship, His Worship, Jacob Mafume. I'm sure you've enjoyed this interview. Now, I'm sure he answered almost, my questions that I got you avunza pano. I don't know if you are satisfied. If you're not, keep them coming. Keep those questions coming. You come again and explain to us kuti ziri papi. But I'm sure vatara ma next month January ma pipe out akuiswa pane ma developments akawanda andanzwa. Also, I'm glad that yananza kuti kumabvuku kwaiswa kuti another theater kuti at least vanhu vabatsirwe ikoko. Zvakangonaka izvo tosasa kuzviona muma clinics akasiyana ari munzvimbo dzakasiyana dzeguta reHarare nemitengo inokwanisa kuti veruzhinji vakwanise kubvisa vachisasarawo neimwe yekuraramisa mhuri dzavo. Thank you so much for watching. My name is DJ Ola7 Owen. We're on your #1 podcast in the land. For now, it's a goodbye.
Today, we're with the headmaster of Magure House Institute, which is in Featherstone in Mashonaland East. Okay, so would you like to give a short introduction about yourself and the school?
Okay, thank you. My name is Mr. Bimpov. I'm the principal of Magure House Institute. Thank you.
Okay. Please just tell us a bit about your school, your values, maybe.
Okay, thank you. Magure House Institute is actually a Cambridge school. We have got, we offer a plethora of academic line and also the co-curricular activities. Alongside the academic, we actually offering the sciences, the commercials, and the arts. The sciences, as usual, we are offering chemistry, physics, biology, and mathematics. And then the commercials, the ranges from economics, business studies, accounting, geography is part of it, though. And then the art line constitute English literature, sociology, biblical studies. Thank you so much. That's about it. Then when we look at the co-curricular activities, we actually offering quite a variety of activities. They are indoors and also the sporting activities ranging from, we offer rugby here, we offer volleyball, we offer handball, we also offer netball and soccer. The indoor games include the chess. Then we have got also table tennis. We also offer clubs as well, such as we do have SU here. We understand parents, in most of the time, they would want also their learners to align themselves along the Christianity line, you understand. So we also offer this SU club here. We offer cycling too. There is debate and public speaking. So it's actually offered here as well. That's about it when it comes to Magure House Institute. We offer in boarding schools. I mean, the boarding facilities, it's of importance, especially because I think we actually have got much time engaging with learners. They do have enough time to study, enough time to engage with teachers. It's actually different from the day schools where you are supposed to be what? You're having these learners going home. So the system that works here is up until the time when these learners are supposed to go for sleep, they are supposed to be engaging with what? With their teachers. So it's so easy to catch up with whatever they would have missed along the way. So I would feel the boarding system offers quite a lot when it comes to enhancing the academic line of the learners. Thank you.
Okay. So I heard you mention that it's a Cambridge syllabus. Why did you choose Cambridge as your syllabus?
Okay, thank you for the question. We understood we actually in Zimbabwe, is it? But Cambridge is actually an international board where a learner that would have passed through the Cambridge line is very much marketable out there. We do have parents that can manage even to send their learners out there, internationally to any of the universities outside of our own borders, is it? So it's actually a bit different from those that may partake the ZIMSEC line, where you are supposed to be sort of like they need to weigh the body itself to see if it fits. So for Cambridge, it's something international. Anywhere that you would want your learners or your children to go after here, it's so much easier.
Okay. So I noticed that your school is a bit secluded. Do you interact with other schools sometimes? And also, do you think this seclusion from the outside world is beneficial for your learners, or it could be harmful in that the knowledge they get is centered on,
Okay, thank you for the question. We feel the location of the school itself is quite noble. Why? Because the area itself leaves out a room for these learners to indulge and engage much of the time with the schooling itself. Unlike those schools that we actually found close to the whatever, be it business centers or any other So it means it's easy for these learners to be found wanting sometimes, when they may feel like they can even skip out the school and go out there and engage in these activities such as drug abuse and so forth. You understand? So here, I think as you can see, you have actually traveled a lot from the road itself. So it tells a lot that the area itself, no learner can feel or even think of even moving out from this area. What are quite a number of schools that we engage. Remember, we said this is actually a school that is very much balanced academic-wise and also at the co-curricular, or as you may call it, extracurricular activities. We engage with schools such as Waizao, Amai Mugabe, Samuel Centenary, and quite a number of schools, especially in sporting and these other indoor activities such as even debate and public speaking.
Okay, what is the teacher-student ratio?
Our teacher-people ratio here is very much understandable and low. We don't exceed 15. Why? Because we would want each and every learner to engage with the teacher. Why? Most of the time, if the learners are becoming more and more, it becomes, it literally means that the teacher cannot manage now the whole system within the classroom. So we'd want to make sure that as much as possible, each learner is engaging with the teacher, because we understand their level of induction is actually different. And the one is quicker and the other one takes time to pick up. So every teacher has to understand each and every learner's abilities. Thank you.
Okay, so if someone wants to be part of your school, what are the requirements for entry?
Thank you so much. If you want to enroll from Grouse Institute, we are also looking at the background of the school that you would have come. It could be you coming from primary to secondary, is it? It could also be the transfers, those who are coming. I will start with the transfers. We would want to see your transfer letter because we want also to understand your background and the situation back then when you were at that particular school. One of the essential aspects is that we would want to make sure that you are not going to become a bad apple here to our learners. So we will be very much scrutiny on that, making sure that we are checking your background. We would want to make sure that we are not going to have challenges when you come. Then for these, the ones that are coming from primary, you might be coming from ZIPSEC as well. We are not worried about that because we know this is another stage, the Form 1 up there. If you are coming from a Cambridge, it's a plus for us because you would have been moving along the system itself. Of course, here and there we'll be checking also if you are able or if you are having the qualities that we would want. We also expect the quality, but it's not always the issue of the quality as well, because we know we can even nurture a learner depending on the probably the outcomes that would have come from primary. We can as well nurture and make that learner prosper. That is academic wise. It's also the issue to do with what? The co-curricular, like I raised earlier on. I raised the idea that we do have also co-curricular. We know the future lies in both. That's the issue of balancing, is it? We might have the learners who are very much gifted in sporting or these other areas. So we are taking you knowing the basis of your background and your abilities. So it's a system that we call a wholesome system where we take up you. It's either you are aligning yourself very much into an academic line, or we might also look at the other side, which might be the co-curricular line. It's okay.
Okay. So what are the values and principles that a student is going to take when they come to the school? Why should parents bring their students to the school? How do you prepare your students for life after school? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Here at Mugura House, we are nurturing learners academic-wise, and also the extracurricular-wise. So if we aren't looking at that, we are having this system, the system of Ubuntuism. I think you understand it. I may just quote one of the philosophers, John Beatty. He was an African philosopher that meant we actually aligning to that line, which says that we are what we are because we can, or you are what you are because we are. So what does that mean? It simply means that every learner that has to come to Mugura House Institute, in the end, that learner has to understand that whatever you can do, you can't do it alone. You need somebody next to yourself for that idea of whatever you want to do to proceed, to be successful. So in other words, we are bringing in the aspect of communitarian aspect or the cooperative approach in whatever we do. Be it academic life, a learner must understand that he or she is not an island. She needs or he needs somebody close by to get assistance. And this is a nature that can even bring in the learner as he progresses in life. To understand that you can't even be yourself. If you want to prosper, you definitely need the next person to yourself. So this is something that we actually inculcated to our school. Thank you.
Okay. So if you happen to have a student who may be not too great at anything, what will you happen to do with maybe what they are good at? Or let's say they don't know what they're good at yet. Will you actually help them to find it or?
Okay, thank you. We believe every human being is gifted someone. It could be academic, it could be these other areas that I spoke about. It's us. I do have my staff, and the duty for us is to make sure that we actually pick from each learner the areas of abilities. And we believe that no learner has to be left out without any direction in which he or she may partake after this school. So we are teachers. At the same time, we are also those who can even guide the future of a learner. We will make sure that the learner who leaves Mugura House Institute is something that in future must be taken.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those who would like to know, what are the school contacts?
Our contact number is 071 33 41 894. This is for school rector or principal. Then the other one is 071 959 3633. This is for the Mugura House administrator. Then we are also located, our offices are located in Harare, at Kargamombe Center, 7th floor.
Thank you very much. That was a very detailed interview. I actually enjoyed it. The students have a wide option of things to choose from. They're focused on. They seem to like it here.
Yeah. I think I like the fact that you come here and you join a community and they're going to groom you and they're going to prepare you for the life after school. Thank you very much, sir. Again, we are here at Mugura House Institute. Please just give us your location.
Okay. Mugura House is actually located 91 kilometers off the road, Harare Masvingo Road.